Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to this ultimate stretch yoga practice. This is a perfect class if you are working out or doing weights and you're experiencing any sort of muscle stress or tension or soreness. And maybe you just want to prevent injuries before or after you start doing some strenuous activity. So let's get started on our mat. We're going to start in the lying down position, just reaching our arms all the way over our head. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Good. Bringing your arms to cactus. So our elbows are on the mat. We're just starting to open up the chest a little bit further here. Just start to take some deep breaths in and out. Your knees are bent. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let our knees fall down towards the mat or the ground, and your heels are together and your toes are together. Nice open pose. Maybe even a rock from side to side with your hips can feel really good. So pulling one knee into the side and the other. Good, and then bring your knees back up. Scoot yourself down so that you have your lower back is pushed in towards the mat. And then we're going to bring our left knee in towards our chest. We have our right knee still bent. So we're pulling our left knee in towards our chest. Relax your head down. Good, and then flexing the left foot, try to straighten that left leg. So we have our right foot on the mat, and we're just gently pulling our left leg in towards our body. Once you find that nice, beautiful stretch, you can just hold. Good, bend the left knee and give it another little squeeze in towards your chest. And then switch sides. So left foot goes on the mat, right knee goes in towards your chest. Just taking a minute to squeeze the right knee in as much as we can. Good, and then straightening the right leg this time. Flexing the foot, just being really gentle wherever you can grab onto your leg. Maybe you're here, right? Maybe you're just lifting here, just being really gentle. Pull it in enough where you feel that deep stretch, but then you can hold. Good. So when we hold these poses, we tell our body that it's safe and that it can release, that it can let go, that it might be able to go a little bit further. Good. Bend it in once more, bringing your right knee in. Good. And then bring both knees in. And pointing your toes towards the ceiling. Go right into your happy baby. So opening up the hips a little bit more here. Take a deep breath in, trying to get our knees in towards the mat. Pull, pull, pull. Maybe a little rock again. Keeping your hips, your lower back, your shoulders, all on the mat. Good. Lower down. Give yourself a head to toe stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Deep breath in. Beautiful. Good. Roll over onto your belly. We are on our belly here. You are going to extend your left arm all the way out, and you're going to roll over on towards your left side. So left arm goes out, you're rolling over towards the left side, pick up your right leg, point the toe, and try to touch it to the back behind you, to the floor. Good. You can keep your hand on your waist, or you can bring it up to the ceiling or just down by your side. So this is a really wonderful stretch on the shoulder. So right now you should be feeling it on your left shoulder, even a little bit towards your right if your arm is up. Good. Maybe you want to try to grab that foot again. Maybe you want to try to grab your right foot, bring it in towards your right glute. Now we're feeling it in the shoulder, and we're feeling it in the quad, in the right quad of the leg. Good. And then lower down really slowly, and then switching sides. So now right arm goes out. We're rolling towards our right side, opening up the right shoulder, and then lifting the left leg, point the toe, bring it back behind you. Right leg is now straight. You can just relax your head down, bring your arm all the way up to the ceiling. Or again, you might want to reach back and try to pull, like grabbing the top of your foot, pulling your left ankle in towards your glute. Opening up both shoulders now. Ooh la la, good stretch. Come back onto your belly, lift yourself up, and come into a child's pose. But let's make it a really nice wide child's pose. So bring your knees as far as they can, go out, have your toes at the back to touch, and then sink all the way down. And then bringing your arms forward, reaching towards the top of the mat, maybe dropping your forehead down. Take a couple seconds here, maybe resting your forehead in this deep hip opener. Good. And then slowly coming up into your tabletop position. So shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. And we're just going to start to come forward and back. Forward and back. Bringing our weight on towards our hands. Maybe slowly sinking your hips down too. Create a little bit of movement here. You can go almost into a cat-cow. So you're curving the spine. Dropping the hips, look up. Good, sinking back into your child's pose. This should feel really good on the wrists. So if you're playing any sort of sports, using your hands. Good, and let's come up to your neutral position in your tabletop. And we're going to start warming or working the wrists a little bit more. So take the tops of your hands and place it face down on towards the mat. So you might want to bring them in a little bit closer to your knees. Most of your weight is on your knees, and then we're just going to really gently rocking forward and back. Good. And then flip it around. So now our fingers are going to be pointed towards our knees, and we're back with the palms. Okay, just a little bit forward and back. Good. And then bring your hands down, flip your toes. If you do yoga, your body is probably calling for a downward dog right now. Your hamstrings are like, all right, already. Let's go into a downward facing dog
and we're going to sway from side to side, create a lot of movement here. Feel good in the shoulders. Make sure your hips are nice and high. Working those hamstrings. Good. Let's start to like lift our heels. Like go onto your toes for a little bit and then drop them down. So deep inhale, lifting your heels as much as you can, going up onto your toes should feel really good as well. And lower, sink deep. And again, lifting your heels up, up, up. And then sink those heels down. Good. As you're doing this, let's do it a couple more times. Lifting the heels up, up, up onto your toes. Bring your body a little bit forward. And then as we drop our heels, I want you to be conscious of lifting your hips a little bit higher. And then pushing your hands more towards the mat. Walk it out, walk it out. Nice, good. Roll into your high plank position and then just go onto your belly. We're going to go into our Sphinx pose. So bring your fingertips towards the top of the mat, point your toes, push your hips in towards the mat or your floor, and lift up. So pull your lower belly in as well. So we're pulling your belly in tight, point your toes, pushing your legs and your glutes tight together, quads pressed, legs. Good. Shoulders away from your ears. Lift up, lift up. Nice, good. And then bring your hands to your side, flip onto your toes, and come up just into a regular child's pose, bringing your knees together. Take one breath here and then walking both hands over towards the right side. Feeling a nice, like a gentle stretch over on the left side of the body. And then bringing your hands to center and then over to the left side. Good. Come back to center, back up into your tabletop position. And then we're going to take our left leg and we're going to carry it towards the top of the mat. So we have our foot planted and we're just going to come back into a low lunge. So keeping the knee on towards the mat. And just lift up. Good. You could release the toe or you can keep it up however you'd like. It's just keeping your hands on towards the mat, or if you have blocks, you could always use those. Good. Now come up on your back toe and then lift yourself up into your runner's lunge and then straightening the front leg. Drop the back heel. We're going to do this just a couple times. So bending the front knee and straighten and bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Good. Take a second, let your body be heavy over on top of your left leg. Try to drop the back heel this time. Feel this nice stretch, maybe from the top of your left foot. You can almost feel it all the way on your feet, all the way up your leg. Good. And then bending your left leg, swing your leg back, high plank position, drop your knees. We're just going to come into a little camel stretch. So bringing your fingertips towards the top and we're pushing on our lower back. We're pushing our hips forward, opening up our shoulders again.
Take a deep breath. Good. And then we're going to try to grab our heels so you can come up onto your toes. Grab those heels and then pushing your hips forward. And then if this feels good, you could drop your head slightly. Good. And then come back up into your tabletop position. Go into a little cat-cow, just a couple to neutralize the spine. Did a lot of bending. So go into your cat. Go into your cow. And then go into your cat. And then neutral. Now we're bringing our left foot forward. So left foot goes forward towards the top of the mat. We're in our low lunge and we're sitting up. So we're just bringing the chest up. So again, listen to your body. Another option is to put both hands onto your knee. But wherever feels good for you. Nice. And then come up on that toe. So your left toe is finding the mat for support, and then you're coming up into your runner's lunge and then straightening the front leg. And then we're just going to come back and forth. So bending the front knee, coming back into your runner's lunge, and then extending the right leg again. You can make it a little bit more intense by maybe bringing your foot a little bit closer together, bending down into your runner's lunge, and then dropping that back heel, and then letting your body sink. Trying to get your body pressed all against your right leg. And just hold this pose. Should be able to feel it again all the way from the, almost like where your toes end. So you're feeling on the top of your feet. Good. Bending into your runner's lunge once more. Pick up your right foot, send it back into your high plank position. I have a noisy mat today. And then lifting your hips all the way up to your downward facing dog. Let's take a minute in this downward dog. Maybe swing your hips from side to side. Good. And then we're going to bend our knees. We're going to do a little jump to the top of the mat as we float our way all the way down to our mat once more. And then one vertebra at a time, lowering ourselves down. We're just going to do a bridge pose. So lifting our hips high, squeezing our glutes in. Lift, lift, lift. Really stretching out the legs today. And the hips, and the shoulders, and the hands. Good. In this position too, you could start to just make a fist with your hands in and out. Good. Maybe even bringing your hands over your head for a deeper stretch. Good. And then lower your hips all the way down. Scoot yourself a little bit closer to the bottom of the mat if you're not already there. We're going to lift up into that bridge pose one more time. And this time we're going to try to lift our hips a little bit higher by using our hands. So we're rolling our body and we're putting our hands on our lower back. So lifting our body up a little bit more. And then if you're here and you feel like you could bring your knees up, maybe you can bring one knee and the other, and then come into a shoulder stand. Pointing your toes. Good. And then lower your knees. And lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Giving yourself another head to toe stretch. Nice. And then we take a little moment here, a quick shavasana. Even though we didn't do a flow, and then we're just stretching. It's good to take a moment, be mindful about how your body feels right now. Maybe you notice that you don't feel as sore. Maybe you feel maybe a tingling sensation in some of your muscles. Good. Reaching your left arm over your head and then rolling over to one side and come up into a comfortable seated position where we close this quick but effective ultimate stretch practice. Please like and subscribe to my channel and have a beautiful, wonderful day. Namaste.